Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Yakira, for allowing me to come on your platform and speak to the women that are here or those that may watch the replay. I'm always excited to pour into other women. And so I am going to pull up a quick presentation right quick so that you guys can have some visuals really quick. Can y'all see that, the screen? Can you see the screen, Yakira?
Yes, ma'am. I can see it.
Yes, we
Okay,
can see the
perfect.
screen. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. All right. So it says she healed, then she transformed, right? And so that's exactly what I did. And so who am I? She already told you guys I'm a wife of 14 years. And so it has been a journey, right? And being a wife for 14 years, you had some ups, you had some downs, you had some traumas, you had a little bit of everything, right? And so I love being a wife. I love being able to serve. I love being a mother, a Mimi, and a full-time entrepreneur. And so before I did all of that, right, the number one thing that I am is a woman of God. I love to be able to operate in God's kingdom and do what He has called me to do and utilize my platform as the place that I do it, right? And so before I became a full time entrepreneur, I was a mortgage underwriter. And so if you don't know who a mortgage underwriter is, that is that person that actually approves home loans, right? When you go through the process of purchasing a home, I am the one that looks at all of your documentation, read the guidelines, and either approve or deny the home loan. I enjoyed doing that, but it just wasn't my purpose, right? I went to work every single day. And I worked from home as a government underwriter, and I just felt lost in sometimes because I knew that wasn't my purpose. I love helping people, but that wasn't the way that God called me to help people. And so I want to talk about like the weight loss. It's not just about weight loss, but it's about really transforming your life. And sometimes you have struggles when it comes to transforming your life. So one of the biggest things that Yakira talked about was starting over. How many times you have been on a journey, you like, oh man, I done messed up. I'm gonna start back over on Monday. Oh, I'm gonna start back over on Sunday. I don't know about y'all, but that's me because baby, that just happened to me not too long ago where I was like, I'm gonna start back over. But I didn't do wrong. I just slipped up and ate something I shouldn't have eaten. But for me, sometimes I really be hard on myself. Then I have to realize it happens. It's okay. It's not a constant, consistent daily thing where I'm eating the wrong thing. You can indulge in some things sometimes on an occasional basis and not feel guilty, right? But the struggle was to start over. And when you're starting over, sometimes there's the frustration that come into place, like frustration of not getting it right. At least for me, I was frustrated on this journey, and when I talk about my journey too, where what made me make the decision to start the journey? And that was when life really happened. My mom transitioned in 2021. She died from stage 4 lung cancer. And so when she transitioned, I really started to reevaluate my life. And I really started to look at some of the things that I was doing. Now, prior to my mom passing away, I had those ups and downs where I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose this weight. And I start and I stop, start and I stop, right? And then I realized too that nothing was working when I'm starting and stopping. I could lose weight and then I go back to doing what I normally do, right? And so what I realized is I was carrying emotional weight. Emotional weight is one of those struggles that I had, and the emotional weight came from my mom transitioning. And when she transitioned, like I said, I really took the time to evaluate my life in every single area of my life, okay? Not just in my health and wellness, but in my marriage, in my finances, in my business, on my job, every single area. And I made a decision to really transform and do something different. Because, see, that was a turning point for me. One, my mom was no longer in this world. And I had to look at my life. And I always say, if you want the next 5 years to look different than the last five, you got to be willing to do something different. And if you're not willing to do something different, then you will display that same lifestyle for the remainder of your life. It would just be a different year, but the same thing going on. And so I got tired of being tired. I got tired of being tired and realized something deeper definitely was needed. And so that deeper thing that was needed for me was really doing the work. Not just saying I'm going to lose the weight, not just saying I'm going to the gym, not just saying that I'm going to eat better, but really doing the work. And so doing the work was one of those things where it really took a shift in every single area, right? And so that meant I had to have a mindset shift. And a mindset shift came with me being able to look at what my mind is telling me. What am I pouring into my mind? Am I pouring good things into my mind, or am I just indulging in lifestyles that I see on social media or lifestyles that I see on the TV? When I did a mindset shift, I really started to ask myself, what am I willing to do different in order to get different results? And so when it comes to the health, for me personal, I got a personal trainer. I got a personal trainer, and I got a personal trainer because I was going to the gym and I wanted to make sure that I was going to use the equipment properly, but not only that, accountability, because accountability is important. When you don't have accountability, you are likely to not do everything that you're supposed to do when you don't have anybody holding you accountable. Okay. So that was the first thing. The second thing was when it comes to eating. When it comes to eating, I made a decision to do meal prep in my first stages of the journey of transforming my weight. I started to do meal prep, and meal prep, it may take some time, but for me, meal prep kept me in a place where making sure that I'm eating the right foods. Because, see, this is what happens when you don't meal prep or when you don't have preparation of the food that you're going to eat. You eat anything that's in that refrigerator. When you get hungry, baby, and you ain't got the right foods, you're going to go get whatever is in that refrigerator and you're gonna eat that. And then you're gonna be like, oh man, I didn't do what I needed to. I ate the wrong thing. Well, you wasn't intentional. When you get real intentional, you make sure that you are prepared for the journey, right? And so being intentional means you have to really, for me, what I did is I mapped out what I was going to eat. If I didn't do the meal prep, I at least mapped out what I was going to eat to make sure that I had the food there because I'm at home. So now that I'm at home, I don't really do a meal prep because I like my food hot and fresh. So I just cook it. But I know what meals I'm going to eat, whether it's for breakfast, whether it's for lunch. I know exactly what I'm going to eat. And for me, I go to Aldi's. And so I don't know where you guys are located, but Aldi's is a hidden gem. Okay. When I first went into Aldi's a couple of years ago, I said, what is this? They ain't got no name brand up here, no none of it up here. But I guess they restructure stuff, and it's not about the name brand, but it's about the quality of the food that you're gonna get. And you can go to Aldi's and you can spend maybe about $150 and get real tangible food, real good food, real whole food, right? To eat your meals. So another thing I had to do when it came to losing the weight is making sure that I understood what type of foods I need to eat. A lot of times, there's so many different food programs, right? They have the keto diet. They have where you can do calorie deficit. They have where you can fast and only eat a certain amount of meals per day. Whatever you decide to do, lock in and do it, right? So in the first part of my journey, I was just making sure that I ate at least two whole meals a day and I was fasting, right? But on this leg of the journey, I'm doing more of a calorie deficit. And so a calorie deficit is making sure you have more calories than you have food that you have eaten. And so where you have an overflow of calories, which means you need to move your body a little bit more, right? And so that comes with the mindset shift of making sure that you're doing the right type of movement to make sure that you're getting the results that you're looking for, right? Another part of the internal work was the healing emotionally. Like healing had to happen in order to become that best version of yourself, in order to become that version that's going to really stick to the plan of releasing the weight, of doing the daily process is healing from your traumas that I ain't gonna say your traumas because I don't want to take ownership of the traumas, but healing from the traumas that you've experienced in life. Because, see, this is where I was a part of the turning point as well. When my mom died, remember I told y'all, I took a look at my own life. And I was like, I took a look at all of the different things that I've experienced and all of these different things that was holding me down. All of these things that no longer served me. The daddy issues that no longer served me. The mama issues that no longer served me. The issues that I had from broken relationships, relationships that had infidelity involved. All of that, I had to be willing to shred that, to let that stuff go, to do intentional healing so that I can be in a mindset to understand that I am worthy to heal, that I am worthy to be the best version of myself, right? So healing is definitely required in order to fully be in that point where you won't keep starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, right? And that also goes with the point of breaking self-sabotage patterns, because a lot of times we have those self-sabotage patterns where we self-sabotage. We be at a good place, right? We might be at a place where we're seeing the results and things are starting to look good. And then boom, that self-sabotage pattern kicks in. It's like, oh, I got to this point. Oh, I'm about to go to the next level. Then something hits you. That happens when you hadn't done the emotional and the healing that needs to be done, the trauma healing, right? And I made a decision to become disciplined. Like, discipline is so needed in order to really see the results that you're looking for. You can't say that you want to really lose the weight, but you are semi-disciplined. Well, you say I'm gonna lose the weight, but I'm still drinking sodas every day. I want to transform my physical life, but I don't want to walk. I don't want to move my body. I don't want to work out. But I say I really want to change my lifestyle, right? Then you have to become disciplined. Let me tell you what discipline looked like. Okay. In my first stage of losing the weight, discipline was going to the gym 5 days a week with my children. Okay, because I am a stay-at-home mommy. Okay, I have 5 kids. I have 3 that are still at home. I have 2 grown children, but they are homeschooled, and so we made a decision that we're going to the gym together. I went to the gym. The older kids went and they did what they needed to do. That was their PE. That was their activity for that day. And my baby, he went to the daycare. I made a decision to be disciplined because I didn't want to be the old version of me. I knew that in order for a new version of me to be able to transform and become, the old version had to leave. And so that took discipline. That took discipline of doing stuff that I wasn't doing. So many people don't even move their body out. So many people don't move their body after high school. After PE is up. After you told that you got to go work out, you got to go walk around the track. Most people don't go back to the gym, or most people don't make a decision to walk for at least 30 minutes a day. What they do is the walking that they do is from the car when they get to their job to their desk and then back to their car to their house or to the grocery store after work. That's most of the physical activity that most people do on a daily basis. And so that's where the obesity come in, because we're not moving our bodies, right? And so when you make a decision to be disciplined, you got to have strategy. And so I talked about the eating habits, right? Making a decision to figure out which type of food choice you're going to do. But at the end of the day, you have to have whole foods. Whole foods is the only way that you're going to be able to really lose the weight. Okay. Whether you're doing a vegetarian diet, that's all whole food because it's all fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables when you're doing vegetarian, right? Whether you're doing the calorie deficit, whole foods is still the key. You got to have whole foods. Whole foods is fresh food, fresh fruits and vegetables, meat and protein, right? For your protein. So we're looking at whole foods. When you're looking at the protein, for those that want to eat meat, you're looking at fish, you're looking at chicken, turkey, ground beef, pork. For those that eat pork, I eat a little pork every now and again, but I'm not a pork eater all the time. um, you know, um, real food. Okay. Then your vegetables, all of your green vegetables, your lettuce, your collard greens, regular turnip greens, cabbage, squash, zucchini, all of your vegetables, right? And then you still eat carbs. You got to eat good carbs. Who knew that sweet potato was a carb? Sweet potato is not considered a vegetable, it's a carb. It's a good carbohydrate. And so you have to have good carbs. So sweet potatoes is considered a good carb. Jasmine rice is considered a good carb, right? Understanding like the mixture of foods that you should eat. When you are eating, you should have protein, you should have a vegetable, plus you should have good carbs and a little fat every time that you eat, right? And so understanding what eating looks like to nourish your body properly. That's a part of strategy. Okay. Consistent workout routine. So, whatever that may look like for you, it's different things that you can do for working out. It could be walking. Walking has not hurt nobody. Okay. I'm telling you. So, I have lost weight a couple of times, but didn't keep the weight off. One of the things my mom used to say all the time, like she's selling these products, and this is way before she died. She's passed away almost 5 years now. But she was right. I wasn't consistent. I would lose the weight, but then I gained the weight back. I lose the weight, I gain the weight back because I wasn't consistent, right? And so when I made the decision to be consistent, walking was one of the things that I did the first time I lost weight. I did a 30-minute walking in place routine at my home for 30 minutes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I moved my body. I ate clean. I used amazing health and wellness products, and I was able to lose 50 pounds then. But guess what? Life started lifing. I hadn't really went through all of my process of healing, and then the weight came back, right? But when I really got consistent, I made a decision to get a coach. And so getting coaches help you shorten your learning curve, right? And so for the routine, you figure out what routine worked for you. It could be going to the gym. It could be walking in your home doing an indoor walk. It could be walking outside, an outdoor walk, even in this day right now. So for me right now, as I'm still on my journey, I personally do two things. I do in-home walking, not in-home walking, an in-home workout with the dumbbells, right? So I lift. So I am doing recompositioning of the fat and turning it into muscle. So I do a lot of lifting Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do cardio. And so that cardio can be like the hula hoop. I have a hula hoop with a weighted thing on it. I do that sometimes for cardio. I'll do a 30-minute in-home workout. It could be a walk in place workout. It could be a praise dance workout. I do that. Or I could go outside and maybe walk for 30 minutes or even an hour, because outside walking, you're going to get a little different results than you are when you're doing something in home, especially depending on what the temperature look like outside, right? And so I also brought a weighted vest to help me with the sweat. So that's some of the things that I'm doing right now. But making sure you come up with a consistent workout routine that's going to work for you and help you on this journey. Okay. Daily discipline is so needed and so required. And so daily discipline is every single day making a decision that today I'm going to do what I need to do right. Right? Some days we fall off, some days we don't. Can I be honest with you? Can I be transparent with you? Y'all let me know in the comments if I can be transparent with you. The last week, my son was like, Mom, let's go to Brahms. What you want from Brahms? Let's go to Brahms. I want some ice cream. And this is my 16-year-old. He never asked to go to Brahms. He never be that person to be like, well, Mom, let's steer off the plan. He never one of those people that try to have me indulge in something. I said, okay, I'll take you. And so I got that ice cream. I said, okay, the ice cream was good. I got that ice cream. And we went maybe about 2 more days. We still ended up going to Brahms and got some more ice cream. And I said, oh, hold up. Something is happening here. Something ain't right because I am falling off a track. I'm getting off the plan. Something's not right. So I had some things that was going on where I had some things coming up with my mom. And so it was a mental thing. And then it turned into an emotional thing. And then I had to nip it in the bud, right? And make a decision that today, I'm not doing that anymore. Daily discipline is a choice. Daily discipline is something that you have to do every single day. And some days you're not gonna follow, some days you're not gonna do right. But for the most part, You want to make your do right days be more than your not do right days, right? That is always the goal. Okay. Natural wellness support. So what that look like is like a community of people that's really going to help you, right? Get the support, get the goals that you need. Like Yakira is a community. She's connected to a community that will help you stay on the track. Because this is the thing, you guys. The people that you are connected to, it matters. It really does. Because if you're connected to people that don't have your best interest at heart, that just go with the flow, that does not hold you accountable, that's willing to say, not willing to, that's not willing to call you on your stuff when you need to be called on your stuff, then that's not the right people to be around. You got to be around people that's going to stretch you. You got to be around people that's going to hold you accountable. You got to be around people that's not just going to be your yes man or your yes woman. You have to make sure that you are around people that you desire to help you go to that next level, right? That's reciprocity. You want to be around people that where it's a give take type of situation. It's so important. It's so important to make sure that you are around the right people. I say this all the time, and I know this analogy might not be right, but my mom used to say all the time, birds of a feather flock together. And that's the truth. That's the reality. So when you see birds in the air, when it's winter, when they're migrating, you see a whole bunch of the same birds flocking together, right? And so just like birds of a feather flock together, if you hang around 5 people that are crackheads or that are on drugs or that has no aspiration for life, then you want to be that fifth person if you're hanging around 4 people that's like that because it's going to catch, right? You're going to catch what they are putting out there. It's going to consume you because you're hanging around them. But when you hang around 4 people that really have goals and desires for themselves, that really are working on themselves to become the best version of themselves, that are not complacent in where they are, then guess what? You're going to be that fifth person that has that will and the desire to go after the dreams, the goals, and the things that God said that they can have, right? So that's a part of strategy, being in community where you have a natural wellness support, okay? So let me tell you guys my current results. And so currently I am 59 pounds down. I was able to lose 40 of those pounds from one of our products called Skinny Drops. That's the accelerate and slenderize drops. It balances your hormones, but it also suppresses your appetite and help you to lose the weight. Okay. I lost 10 pounds on our Advantage product, and that Advantage product helps with the fupa area, the waist area, that stubborn area. I'm telling y'all, when I look at my waist, I'll be like, oh my God, I got a waist. I ain't got the rebellies and back fat, okay? I still got a little back fat that I'm working on, but I don't have all of the stuff that I had. Okay. And then I lost the last 9 pounds on our new Core Cleanse Detox Tea. And so that detox tea is absolutely amazing. It helps with more than just releasing the waste and the toxins. It helps with energy. Y'all, I'm energized and I hadn't taken nothing but drank the detox tea last night and I'm still energized. The brain fog is gone. Have you ever went in the room and like, oh my God, what you went in this room for? Forgot I came in here for. Then you walk out and you go, oh, that's what I went to go get. It helps with the brain fog. It helps with making sure that you sleep better. Like the sleep is absolutely amazing. And so I love our products. Our products has helped me to really be able to get these results. And one of the byproducts of getting those results is confidence. Confidence in becoming consistency, becoming consistent. Consistency is so important, you guys. It's so important on the journey. It's so important on getting to the goals that you desire. But I've always been a confident woman, okay? I really have. Whether I was at my heaviest size of over 300 pounds, this was me a few years ago at one of my conferences, and I was over 330 pounds down. 330 pounds. And so this is me now. Well, this was me a couple of months ago, but I'm a little smaller than I am right there in that same shirt. So that's me. It ain't AI, it's me. And so this is a transformation. And I was able to get this transformation, you guys, again, because of discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency. And so this is a picture of me in the beautiful country of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I was able to travel there with an amazing community of women, celebrating our goals that we've accomplished, able to meet some goals in business. And I could truly smile. And I say that because I remember smiling and I was broken on the inside, y'all. I was smiling on the outside, but I was so broken on the inside. But when I'm going to bed at night, I'm crying like, God, this cannot be it. Like it gotta be more. Like it has to be more. Because this can't be it. Right? And asking God, what is my purpose? Trying to figure out where I belong, what it is that He called me to do. And this is who I became, y'all. I became that woman, became that queen that know who I am, that knows my worth, that know that I was created for more, that know that I was created for greatness, that does not allow my past circumstances to define my future. Because a lot of times we allow our past to define who we are. Like I opened up, well, like Yakira read in my bio, I was a teen mom. I was a teen mom. I gave birth to and brought my baby into a family of a single parent household and not understanding that I was a statistic in the eyes of the government. But God say, you are favored. You're not a statistic. And He allowed that baby to help me turn and operate in my purpose. Because that was the first decision that I ever had to make when it comes to faith. The name of my business is called Ladies of Faith Over Fear. And so that was the first decision that I ever had to make was, do I have an abortion or do I have this baby? And I don't knock anybody that may have had an abortion. That's their decision. But I made a decision to have that conversation with God and say, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a kid myself, but I'm trusting you on this process. And God has never left me nor forsake me. He has been true to His word. He said that I will never leave you nor forsake you. And He has been there throughout the process. And y'all, I can stand boldly in front of you guys because this is my why. These are my children. Like you can't even really see me in there to see that that's the mama in there, right? I look just as young as the children, right? But that's me in the mix with my kids, okay? And my grandbabies, because they are my why. They are my why. The word says that we are to leave an inheritance for our children. And that's what I'm working towards. The goal of being the best version of myself, the goal of breaking generational curses when it comes to eating, the goal of breaking generational curses when it comes to obesity, the goal of breaking generational curses when it comes to healing from trauma. Because this is the thing, we're going to always leave something with the generations as we transition out of this world. And so the thing is, what are you going to leave? What are you going to leave? And it's not just about leaving a inheritance with money, but it's also an inheritance with a mindset. What mindset are you leaving? What things have you imparted into this generation that's going to go forth to the next generation? Will your great grandchildren know who you are? That matters because the decisions and the things that you do today, it determines the future for these children right here with my decisions that I make today and these grandchildren. So they are my why. And I'm thankful and grateful that God gave them to me because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be who I am today. And so what I do now is, you guys, I really help women to heal internally. I teach consistency and discipline. I help break inner blocks and I support the transformation journey. And so I thank you so much, Akira, for allowing me to share on today, and just to share my heart and my story. And so you guys' next steps is to whatever Miss Shakira is promoting to you guys, to join her program, to commit to your transformation, to take action today. And then I'm here to help support you along the way whenever there is a need that I can step in to help you guys. But I pray that I was able to share something to impart onto you today to make a decision to do something different. You're not here by circumstance. You're here because you wanted to see something different. So in order to see different results, you got to be willing to move different. So thank you so much, Akira, for allowing me to share, and I'll give the platform back to you on today.
Talking about, I told you, this is not the day to miss, because you see, I mean, she was just dropping gems, and I'm like, oh my God, man, she's doing a whole lot more than I even asked. I am so grateful, Miss Cheryl, for you being here. God bless you. I mean, I was taking notes. She said discipline, you need to be disciplined and stuff. I said discipline, yes, is important. And one thing is that I was like in day 2 when I talked about it, I said, yeah, discipline is good, but my program is not just focusing on just discipline, because a lot of the times women were made to be disciplined, and we organize our homes and everything. So it's there. But a lot of the times we forget ourselves, and we just focus on other people with discipline and taking care of the kids, discipline, and making sure things are done right, but then we forget ourselves, you know. And then she talked about going to the gym with the kids. I was like, what? That's one part. I'm like, okay, I'm learning more about Miss Gerald. I'm like, oh my God, that is hot. Like going to the gym, that one, I don't even know if I can do that, but man, that's good. Because now she got everybody involved. She made the kids know, okay, mommy needs to lose weight. So she educated the children, okay, I'm struggling. This is something I need to do. I need to transfer myself so I can be here for you guys and everything. And she talked to her kids. And so they're like, okay, so mom, what are we doing? Okay, we're going to the gym. So this is your PE. And hey, everybody got in order. So while mom's working out, people are, she's losing her weight, doing stuff. And of course, I'm sure even with the diet part of it, because that was her thing, the diet thing, she said she started eating more whole food instead of processed food. Now she goes into whole foods and stuff. So this is the beautiful part about that, is that now the kids know that, because if she's doing it for herself, she's probably going to put the kids involved too, because if she's doing half and half, it's not going to work either, because once the whole family's eating better and everything, of course it's going to be better for everyone. Then she said, I chose what I noticed about her is, and this is what I do, I don't try to change your lifestyle too much, because I like to see what works for you. When I'm doing my weight loss, because I've been a weight loss counselor for a while, for years actually, but I just picked it back up 3 years ago, and I've been seeing women transform their lives. And I said, you know what? In what I'm doing right now, where God has me right now, this is where I need to stabilize and begin to see women transform. Because every time I'm at work at different places, I hear women saying, oh my God, I'm just frustrated. I don't try this, try that. Man, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. And the only thing is because, like I said, on day 1 and day 2, it's not that you lack the discipline. Also, discipline is there, but sometimes the thing, you lack the structure. You don't have that structure. And once you don't have structure, when you don't have the community, when you don't have the things that you need in place, everything else, it falls apart. So you have to know yourself. You have to know what it is that you want, and then I gave a homework, which was like, what do you want? I talked about it yesterday. I said, what do you want? Just one thing. Tell me one thing that you want. How many pounds you want to lose? Just one. Why do you want to lose that weight? Write it down. And if you write that down, put it on your mirror, put it on your dashboard, put it where you know you're gonna see. So everywhere you go, you're seeing it. It's everywhere. It's everywhere you go. So that way it's a reminder. It reminds you. And that's just one form of structure that I gave. I didn't give too much, because I felt like, I'm not gonna give it away. Let Miss Cheryl come and drop the bomb in here and let you guys know, and then I will add to it. So she said so many things. I'm like, man. And then she talked about ice cream. I was like, well, I went, my son said, let's go have some ice cream. I was like, look at this child. What are you trying to do? But you know what? That's the beautiful thing, is that in my program, I show you how to eat some of the things that you like and not fall off track, even when you're eating what you like. You see, of course, you're going to have ice cream, but then again, you got to understand your body because some people can eat ice cream and it's over. Like it just takes you way left. So if that's you, we're going to have a discussion. So my program is personalized. So I have dealt with so many people where I have a lady, I'll give an example, a lady who her thing was peanut butter. Man, she had to have her peanut butter. Okay. So I showed her how to do her peanut butter thing. You know, she was taking peanut butter all the time. Then she hit a point where her body said, okay, plateau, I'm not going anywhere. So I'm like, okay, she came back. So we went through some stuff with her. And then I was like, okay, we got to look at this peanut butter for a little bit. And she was like, no, I always use, I said, I know. It's always peanut butter. And you have lost weight despite the peanut butter. I told her the first week, she was like, I'm just going to do what I want. I'm like, okay, no problem. But she came back. We took the peanut butter off for a little bit, right? And she did so. I gave her some things to do to flip things to boost her again, and she was back on it. She did not lose peanut butter forever, but for a while she had to drop it because sometimes when you need to hit a goal, you have to deny yourself of certain things. Sometimes you do that, and then later on you're able to add it on. So my program involves, you're gonna lose the weight. I go from weight loss to your weight management, and we go into maintenance phase. So it's not just we're gonna lose the weight and we're done. No, there's a lot more to that. So I'm so grateful. I mean, I could go on and on about what you talked about. I'm like, wow. And I have guys. I am one of her. She's also my mentor. I've been through her class on trauma, and let me tell you, I'm telling you, it was such a game changer for me. I was just like, thank you, God, because it was a gift from God to even meet her the first time we met. We're business partners. We have this amazing community that we belong to. And oh my goodness, the first time I met her was on our conference. We had this conference and everything. And my God, whenever she was talking to this lady, I'm like, wow, okay. And as time went on, like God used her to do some amazing healing for me. So don't underplay trauma and what trauma does for you. Does to do with your weight loss and everything is very, very important because if you don't deal with it, especially if you're an emotional eater and everything, you're going to have to deal with that trauma. Because sometimes, like you're stressed out. Like when I was in nursing school, I'll tell you that one. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a nurse too. Oh my God, nursing school was one of the hardest things I ever did at my age. And I'm like, whoo, when I get stressed and I'm like, who wants this fried chicken? And I'll go straight and go get a bucket of fried chicken I'm eating. I was dealing with my stress with food. So what is that? Emotional eating. So I was using that to cope with everything. And then I was a single mom with my daughter was like 2, 3 years old then. So it was just it was difficult. But hey, I got through it and I'm just so grateful. So you can have a plan in this. There's other things that I'm going to talk about in this that is important to talk about. So Michelle has given you her story, which is really great, and I'm so grateful for it because I really hope if you got something from it, just put something in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you feel like she did an amazing job and that Miss that you just love what you heard today. Put a one in the chat. Just let me know what you feel about this. What are your comments so far? Yeah. So I told you you did an amazing job. I'm telling you. Yep. It's just an amazing. It's just everybody. I just kept on seeing the emojis go up, the hearts, the congratulations, everything. Just God be the glory. Yeah, that this is just amazing. So I'm so thankful that Michelle, you came here to, to just drop all these amazing gems for people to hear and learn and know that hey, it is not something that you can just do by yourself. You definitely do need support in this. So there's some specific things. I'll just add to it some of the things that she said. We talked about what is blocking you. So there are certain things that block you, such as like other things like your hormones can block you as women. So women, we are amazing. God created us in such a beautiful way, but there are certain things that affect us, like hormones. We have insulin, cortisol, estrogen, thyroid hormones, and all that stuff. Fat cravings. In the day one, I talked about internal balances. You have the internal balances. If things are not out of balance, you can't lose the weight. So this is so I that's why I said I'm gonna just give it brief, and then day three we're going deep. We're gonna go deep into it. So we went into another one is poor sleep. If you're not sleeping well, and this can increase your hunger hormones and stuff, cravings, and you start having low energy, and then it just makes it all it just messes your whole weight loss journey as well, because once you're stressed out, when you don't sleep you get stressed out, and it affects everything. Chronic stress, when you're stressed out, your cortisol level, oh my, cortisol is a woo, cortisol is really really I see cortisol as a punisher. Like it just punish you. Like I mean, life is like stressful, but why you gotta punish me and add some store some fat when I'm already stressed out? But that's what it does. I don't know why God made it like that. But hey, for women, we start when you start seeing your belly fat storage increasing, emotional eating. Many people who eat for comfort because they're overwhelmed. So when you stressed out and it's so much, what do? Hey, you get for the reach for the ice cream, reach for the fried chicken like me when I was in school and everything, you know. And then you have gut health issues, that could affect you. Your poor digestion, bloating, constipation, unhealthy gut bacteria. When your gut bacteria is out of whack, hey, that would affect the whole thing. I've noticed that in the past 2 weeks, Miss Cheryl just talked about one of our products that we promote. We started promoting a new product that came out, and in this product called Core Cleanse. I remember going around. I was talking to people randomly about toxins and stuff. A lot of people. I realized a lot of people didn't know anything about detoxing. So I was like, for real? No, like, no. I was in Aldi when she said Aldi. I'm like, shit, that's my store, Aldi. You can outbeat Aldi. I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I went to Aldi. In fact, I went to Aldi today. I went to get some real good whole foods and everything. And that's another thing that I promote for my children, to eat the same way that I eat so that I can maintain it. If some of those of you who follow me on social media, you see when I'm posting stuff, I'm posting my real life. I was able to maintain my weight 20 years after 3 children. I'm able to maintain my weight because there's some things that I had to do to keep the weight the way I want it to be. And what I want may not be what you want. And that's why when I gave the homework yesterday, I said how many pounds you want to lose, why you want to lose that weight, what's the reason. And some people said it's because I want to fit into a smaller size. I used to be like this when I was younger. I want to look good. I want to look better. So okay. Some people said that it's because just my confidence. I want my husband to look at me the same way he used to look at me before. Hey, if that's what you want, then good. Your reason, and that's your why. I mean, Cheryl said her why is her children. She wants to be there for them. She wants to provide a legacy for her children. When she start teaching them good habits and stuff, they're gonna pick up after her. Because whether you like it or not, your children are looking at you. And even to today, I look back when sometimes I want to do something in my life. I look back, I'm like, oh, how did my mom do it? I'm like, oh yeah, my mom used to do this, my dad used to do that. You always, hey, we are our children's first teachers. So they look back at that. And then inconsistent eating habits, skipping meals, overeating at night, emotional. It's funny, I met somebody on Sunday, right? And she looked really slim. I was like, hey, what you do? You're looking really good. You lost weight and stuff. And she's like, really? You sure I look good? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I think I lost too much weight. She said she wants to gain weight. I said, you want to gain weight? She said, yeah, I've been trying. I'm like, you trying? I said, okay, that's easy. I can tell you what to do to gain the weight back. I mean, so, you know, but this is it. Skipping meals, overeating at night, that happens. Emotional eating, constantly restarting and stuff like that. That inconsistent. We talked about the cycle yesterday. Okay, you're gonna start today. You're good for a few days, and the reason why you now say, okay, I'm not. It's just motivation starts you, but it doesn't keep you. So just going round and round in circles. So the only way you can stop that is you have to break the pattern. You have to break that cycle. And for women, I'm going to go deeper now. So we're talking about hormones. Woo! Hormones, God given. When hormones are imbalanced, your body can hold on to fat, increase cravings. You have we talked about cortisol hormones. Like I said, cortisol is a punisher. So that cortisol will now speak to the insulin, make things resistant, and then cause you to start storing belly fat. And women, if we don't manage our stress well, we know that's something that can easily happen to us. Insulin is another one. Imbalance can cause starch fat storage. So the body kind of works together. So when one is not doing right, another may not be doing right. So these hormones, they kind of speak to each other and stuff. Thyroid hormones. So you're sluggish, your thyroid, you can actually have hypothyroidism, all of these things, they affect us. And women, hey, and a lot of the times women, we blame ourselves. And that's what I talked about on day one. I was talking about the fact that women, we blame ourselves and we say, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me because I can't lose weight. No, you just don't. There's some information that's missing that you don't know. And once you find the information and you connect the dots, you're going to start seeing results and you'll be like, thank God, finally. So I just really believe that this is an answer. This is going to be an answer to many of your prayers because you're missing some information and we're here to give you that information. So hormones can affect your sleep and your recovery. So poor hormone imbalance can disrupt sleep. It'll increase your fatigue, slow your recovery after workouts. And without proper rest, the body struggles to burn fat effectively and maintain healthy energy levels. Your energy levels is very important. You need energy to do anything. Some people think that if I got to work out 5 days a week to see that, that's another thing. You think doing more is what you need to is you what you have to do to lose weight. I would tell you from my experience, I took care of people who I helped people lose weight who could not even work out. They could not work out because they had physical situations where they couldn't move their body. Maybe they had knee problems, swelling in their legs, things that just aggravated things that they could not lose the weight. So with me, I work with people with a different lifestyle. So if you're the type that I gotta work out, do that, fine. I work with ages of people from their 20s up to their 60s. So this is what I was able to do. And then recently, again, I started picking up some clients who I made recommendations for someone recently in their 30s and another person in their 60s. And I'm telling you, they are just raving and excited about it. I wish I had them. I wish I could bring them, but hey, not everybody's available to come in like Michelle. So I'm so grateful that Michelle was able to come in and talk for me to tell you guys about exactly what it is that she did to help lose the weight. So what I'm offering for my program has we have customer I customize plans for people based on their lifestyle. So this is a based on your lifestyle. There's going to be ongoing support, which is 2 times a week. I'll be having doing check-ins 2 times a week, and I do it. I get really close because I want to know what's going on with you and how we can make sure we get to your goal. And what I'm offering, this happens like in the first quarter. I will be doing 2 times a week. We'll be doing that in the first quarter, and then we see how it goes. Then community. Community is so important. It is so important because when you have your people with you doing the same thing, you know that you're not alone. But when you feel like you're alone, you can't. Like Miss Cheryl said it when she started, she was just doing things here and there, and she would lose a little bit and gain back, and she needed the support. And there's nothing wrong in needing support. So what she did was she decided that she was going to hire a trainer. That was one of the first things I heard she said she did. She hired a trainer. So she needed a trainer. She made the choice, I need a trainer. So she went ahead and she did that. She got a trainer and that worked for her. And like I said, not everybody can get a trainer. And most of the people that I worked with initially, they could not even do nothing. So we have to be very strict on certain things for them. Then also you have access to community, you have access to supplements. If you choose to use supplements, you have access to be able to purchase some supplements for yourself. And then quarterly guest sessions. So Miss Cheryl already just popped in. She said that hey, that she would be willing to come in to motivate you to see what it is that she can do to get you to your goal weight. So you will be having people like Michelle coming in and others that would come in to support you based on what it is that you're going through. So you're never going to feel like you're alone. So I'm going to be really close knit with by the end of this, and this is a year-long program for me. This is year long. This is going to be a year-long program, and tomorrow we're going to go into details on it. I'm going to give you the structure and everything, but this is a year-long program because when you take your time, it also depends on how much weight you want to lose. A lot of women have tried so many things, and I feel like if I I start with, you get the weight loss, you manage the weight, and then we start maintaining your weight. So you're never going to be alone. And then we do have the supplement. Like I said, you're going to have access to purchase supplements if you choose to help you lose the weight. So you are going to be getting education on that. So tomorrow there's going to be a full breakdown on everything, and I will tell you exactly what you need to be doing. But I want you to know that you're not going to be alone in this journey. You're not alone in this journey, and that's very, very important. So we have talked about um we have talked about um the fact that the plan failed you. You've tried it by yourself, it doesn't work out. Let me put something in the chat. Put a Y in the chat if you feel like you're gonna need support in losing your weight, in helping your weight loss journey. Because this is not just going to be like this is actually a lifestyle change. Because some of you, when she talked about mindset, sometimes you're used to thinking a certain way. So if you feel like you're going to need support to get you to where you feel you need to be in your weight journey, go ahead and say I need support, or put a Y in the chat to say I do need support. Okay, yes, you need support. So Michelle, before you go, I know you are of high value, and I know your time is really, can we just kind of open up the floor a little bit into a little bit of a Q&A, because I know you have something to just a quick Q&A session. You think you'll have like 5 minutes to just give us a little bit of your time? Because I know it's
Hey,
precious.
Yakira. Yeah, I have I can only do about 5 more minutes because I have another engagement I gotta hop on. Yes, so how can I help you? What questions you have? We can't hear you, sis. You muted.
Are we
You
talking to
muted.
me or Akua? You talking to Angela or?
Whoever have questions, if you have some questions, Miss Angela, Yakira,
Oh,
you were muted. But if you have any questions, I'm here to help.
yeah, mine was like the emotional, the trauma that that can hold you up too, and just how to
Mhm.
connect with you on that.
Okay, absolutely. So right now I have my digital course that's available. I could put my link in, I'll put my link in there or
Mhm.
send it to you, Kira, where she can send it out to you guys.
Okay.
But it's a 3-day trauma reset intensive course where you
Hmm.
start to break down the habits, break down the different stages of life, right? The
Hmm.
trauma that you've experienced and help you walk through the process of dealing with that trauma, because a lot of times we experience things and we suppress it. We don't do intentional work. We,
Hmm.
of course, we pray, because I prayed to God. I did a
Hmm.
lot of praying, but
Hmm.
to really do the work outside of prayer, outside of fasting,
Hmm.
doing the work to help with the emotional baggage, to
Okay.
release it, to get it from here
Right.
out of here.
Right.
Right. So you can do that. That's $47 for that. I also have a 6-week intensive course. So I'm not doing that right now. Probably towards the end of the year, I might do a new cohort. But that's the course that Yakira was talking about, and that's where it's group coaching. But
Hmm.
I love the group coaching because there's other women in the group, and you hear different aspects from different people's lives,
Hmm.
and we do the work together. We do the work. It's a just like this on a Zoom setting. It's a
Hmm.
safe place. So whatever says on that Zoom, it stays on that Zoom. We don't take it nowhere else. And
Okay.
anytime you talk to me in confidence, you also are able to, have that time, because we do a one-on-one session 1 week throughout that 6-week process. So that's another course that I have as well. It's not offered right now, but it will be towards the end of the year.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay. All right. That was what
okay,
I wanted to share.
absolutely. Good, good. And then you can follow me on social media as well. My name is Cheryl MAzique
Okay.
on Facebook, and that link is in my bio. And then I'll send the link to Yakira as well,
Okay.
so that she can send it to you guys. But I would
Great.
love to help you. And with that digital course, it's self-paced. It's
Okay.
self-paced. And then I also have a community as well where I help women also. Are you a business owner or anything?
I am actually. I have a travel agency, home-based
Okay.
travel agency, and then my husband and I share a non-medical transportation service.
Okay.
Um, and then I do work full time, and also a caregiver for my mother who's in a nursing home.
Okay.
So
Oh, you got a lot on your plate.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
Jesus. Yeah,
yeah.
you got a lot on your plate. And then you probably at the bottom of the list of everything that's on your plate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah. So
And
you
my
definitely,
my siblings were like I have five living siblings, and now we're forced to communicate, make decisions for our mother. We've had to learn how to communicate with each other and
mhm.
how we each interact with each other, which we were doing that on the surface, but now it has to be really intentional, and it could
Mhm.
be painful learning your siblings how they really are, you know.
Oh, that part. You ain't said nothing but a thing, child. It's just it's just me and my brother. And I thought we was good, but when she passed away, some stuff,
Yeah,
unsurfaced. And so now it's definitely the time while she is still here.
yeah,
If I can give you any advice, do everything that you need to do legally when it comes to paperwork, making sure that she has not just a will, but if you can get a trust for her, if she's still in that
yeah,
capacity state where she can get a trust, so that and executive of her estate, right?
yeah,
Executor of her estate is so important.
yeah,
If you're not on her bank accounts, you need to be on her bank account so
yeah.
there's no issues whenever that time does come, whenever she does transition.
Right.
And I'm not putting your mom in the grave or anything, but I'm just
No,
saying whenever
no,
whenever that time does come.
that's all been established. It's just really the how we interact and communicate
Yeah.
and process,
I'm
um,
gonna stop the
and
recording for
offend and
now
not offend
so that we
from
don't.
words, from how you handle certain situations, you know.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah, and everybody is different. So and
yes.
everybody has different personalities.